want to start up the making of this gown, and we'll be having a full drafting of this particular slash and spread gown. So for the upper piece, we are going to make 2 patterns, and we are also going to trace out the pieces. So for the front pattern, I have a full bodice pattern. So this full bodice pattern I have here, I have the shoulder line, I have the chest line, this is my bust point, the under bust point, and I have my waistline, which is the front length, and this I have it for both bodies. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll be dividing my shoulder seam line. So the shoulder seam line, I'm dividing it, which is the first thing we usually do when we are drafting our pattern. So I just go in here, measure what I have on my shoulder and divide by 2. I'll make a mark. I'll connect to my bust point. I'll come here, I'll divide it by 2. I also make a mark and connect to the bust point. So we are going to make the inner part tube, then the outer part slash and spread. So I will take my bust radius from my bust point, the measurement I have to the under bust. I'll simply rotate my bust radius around. So this is going to serve as a guide as usual. Okay, so that is my bust radius. I'll also do the same. My bust radius remain the same for both. That is the radius of the bust. So this is the radius of the bust, as you can see. Okay, so now I've gotten the radius of the bust, and I want to draft what I have on the bust here. But before we draft the bust here, we are going to draft the asymmetric part of this dress. So the asymmetric part of this dress, I'll draft it now, and I'm going to trace it out before we continue with the bust here. So I'll just come in from the tip of the shoulder, and I'm going to come in by 2.75. So from that 2.75, I'll come down from my natural neckline. This is my natural neckline, the center front by 4 inches. So once I do that, I'll bring in my pattern ruler and connect. You can also freehand it if you feel that part will not actually give you what you want. Once I've connected there, from that 4 inches, I'll connect again to the bust point directly. And from this bust point, I'll connect to the under dart. Can you see? So that is how this asymmetric part is going to be before we slash and spread. So I'll just come in with my pattern pepper. I'll place it on top. I want to trace out the asymmetric part of this. So you can see how we made the asymmetric. So I'll just go ahead and trace what I have. I'll start from the shoulder seam line. I'll go into the armhole because there's going to be a sleeve on this part. Okay, so here I'll just go in. There's no bust dart, so I'm not tracing the part of my bust dart. So I'll just come on the waistline. I'll take the waistline together with the dart. Okay, so once I get here, I will not take the part of the bust dart. So, but I'm not supposed to get to this point. The asymmetric neckline goes this way, so make sure you trace it very, very well, very, very appropriately. So you can see that we have traced out the asymmetric part. So for where we have the dots, it does not affect anything. Okay, so we can work with it this way on our slash and spread. So I'll just go ahead now and cut out the asymmetric part of my pattern. I'll go in on this is the part we are going to slash and spread and place on top of the tube. So I'll just go over to the waistline and I'm going to cut out the pattern. Okay, so I will set this one aside. Once I'm done, I'll bring it back for the slash and spread. So we'll now go over to the drafting of the tube for this part. So for the tube part of this is what we are going to do. The bust point difference, which is your bust radius, I'll place it right here. And I don't want to expose my bust, so I'll add 0.75 to it. Okay, so that becomes the point of the neckline. So I'll just come in with my pattern ruler from that point. I'll go to the chest line and I'll connect. I'll flip my ruler this way from that point and I'll connect, as you can see. So I'll also come over to here. I'm going to place my ruler, my tape, make my bust radius, add 0.75 to it, the same way I did here. Okay, so all measurements has to be the same, so make sure all measurements is the same. So I'm just making sure I have my measurements correctly. Okay, so I see it's correct. I also place my pattern ruler this way because everything is going to be uniform. Okay, no one is going to be bigger than the other. So can you see? So I have it the same now. So next I want to do is to start contouring what we have. So from here I'll go in by 0.75 and from here I'll go in by 0.75 and I'm going to connect. I'll flip my ruler this way, I'll connect. So this dart is going up. So because it's running into the armhole, we are not replacing any darts at that point. I'll also come here. From here I'll come out by 0.75 and from here another 0.75. So I'll just flip my ruler this way, that way. Okay, and then that is what I'm taking off. So for my under bust, I'll come from the center front right here. As you can see, I'm taking my under bust firmly. The circumference of my under bust divided by 4 is 8.75, and what is remaining, I'll put 0.25 here and the rest of it here for my under bust contouring. So if you have been following our YouTube channel, you know that we always contour this way and it gives a perfect fit at the end of the day. So here I go this way. So I'm taking off this dart. So I'll repeat exactly what I did here over here. What I did here was taking my under bust, putting 0.25 and the rest of it here. Okay, so it's the same measurement here. I'm just repeating the same process. So the placement of your ruler is also very important. Please ensure you place this way and that way. Now I'll bring this back here and I'll bring this back here, as you can see. So everything here will go out immediately. So our tube dress is ready. I call this F1, I call this F2, I call this F3. So that is the inner part of this dress where we are going to place the asymmetric we just cut off. So I'll just go in this way. So this part does not have any sleeve. Okay, so just go this way, that way, into the sweetheart neckline. Okay, I'll cut the waistline right now. So now I will cut off my darts. So I will separate what I have on the tube parts. Okay, so I'll close up my bust dart for one. So bust dart is closed. Please don't cut it off completely. Alright, so this is it, and F1 is ready. I'll cut off F2. Okay, so I'll just go to the bust dart and close up the bust dart. Now I come here and I'll cut, and I'm going to do this. As you can see, so that is it, and that is what we have for the first tube part. So this tube part, we are going to sew these tube parts. After that, the slash and spread will come on top of it. Okay, so you can see at the end of the sewing now, this one will pass exactly here, under here to this here. By that time you are done sewing, everything is placed on top like this. Okay, so I'll keep it aside till we get to the slash and spread part. So this is the tube. I'll set it aside. So front has two patterns, as you see right here. This is the front pattern. It has two patterns, so I'll set them aside with this. Then I'll talk about the back pattern now. So this is the back pattern, as you can see. So the back pattern is simple. Simply bring this. You can see this was for this, but because it's going to be at the back, I'll simply flip it this way. Okay, so once I flip it this way now, I'll just simply mark out the, what I'm taking here is not everything. Please take note of that. I'm taking only the shoulder seam. That is the length of the width of the shoulder seam, which we took at 0.75. So I'll just mark it so it matches up, and I'll take this away. So I'm going to create the back neckline. It depends on how you want to create the back neckline. If you want to still do the 4 inches, is okay. So all you need to do here, you just place your pattern ruler on that 4 inches and take it to the armhole line. It will just run to the armhole line. So I can just freehand if this is not giving me what I want. So the center is going to have a zipper at the back. So for the zipper, I'll just do the zipper contour first. I'll go in by 0.75, go out by 0.75, and I'm going to connect this straight into the neckline like this, as you can see. So this is my contour line, and that means I'm going to retake the measurement of my the width of my dress. So from here I'll measure my width of that is circumference of my waist divided by 4, and from here circumference of my waist of my bust divided by 4. I will reconnect the new line. So this is the new line, as you can see. I'll come over here. I'll also do the same. Circumference of my waist I'll mark, and circumference of my bust I'll mark. So I'll just go this way, that way. Okay, so that is how it's going to look like for this. So I just cut the back. What I'm cutting now is the back pattern, and this back pattern I'll be telling you how you successfully sew before you place the slash and spread part. So here I'm cutting through the armhole. This is where the sleeve is going to be, and this is the shoulder seam line. I'll go in to the neckline design. Okay, so the neckline design has to run this way, so it meets up with what we have on the bustier part. So I'm going to cut what I have here. This part I'm going to cut it off. This is B1 and this is B2. So but now I don't want to cut it out for the purpose of this tutorial, but when you are making yours, please cut it out. So I'll just close it up and pretending I've sewn my zip, because I don't want to detach what I have on this. So I just close it up, but please cut it off and attach your zipper at the back of this dress. Okay, so I'll just do this for tutorial purpose. All right, so I'll come back with this. The way you are going to sew this is this. This is the back, and the back is usually going to be like this, and this is the front. So you are going to sew your bustier and the back pattern. So prepare your bustier first. That is what I mean. Your bustier has to be prepared first. Your back has to be prepared first, B1 and B2. Once they are ready, let's slash and spread, so you see how it's going to be sewn. So I'm going to slash and spread now. This pattern is like this. So for the slash and spread, I'll come to this part. I'm going to divide my 3 lines. That is lines of my slash and spread. I'm going to make my slash and spread lines at 1.25, 1.25, and the rest of it. Okay, or I can do 1 inch because I need 3 lines. So just divide anything you have and make sure you have 3 lines. So let me do 1 inch so I'll be able to have my 3 lines. So these 3 lines, I'm pointing it towards the bust nipple point. This is the nipple point. So I just take my slash and spread like this, the way it is on the thumbnail. I'll just take it that way. Okay, so I'll take it completely, because if you don't cut to this point, you cannot be able to slash and spread. So this is how the line is going to be, and that is how I'm going to slash this and spread it now. So I'll bring a paper